I'm Pia and you're watching Deep Dive on NewsX World. Today's subject is the latest entrance on the global defense horizon. Yes, I'm referring to Russia's S-500 defense system and its first potential customer, India. On the 7th of May this year, India launched its strongest response yet to cross-border terrorism sponsored by Pakistan, Operation Sindoor, which targeted terror bases across Pakistan, leaving observers shell-shocked at India's military capacity by effectively destabilizing crucial infrastructure across Pakistan. Pakistan, of course, responded with a barrage of retaliatory missiles and drones aimed not just at Indian defense infrastructure across north and western India, but also against civilians. Now, according to reports, Pakistan launched projectiles at around 26 military targets in India, and the Indian army successfully negated the majority of these attacks in the air itself. India acknowledged some damage at 4 of those locations, none of any major consequence. And the reason for this? The Russian-made S-400 Triumph aerial defense batteries. Here's Indian Air Chief Marshal Ep14 talking about the S-400 systems and their efficacy in the conflict. Take a look.
Surface-to-air missiles का engagement, I think जो हमने LR SAMs, जो long-range SAMs खरीदी थी, जो S-400, they turned out to be a game changer in this. उनकी long range, the radars, the missile system could threaten the enemy aircraft well inside their own territory. तो हम कुछ ऐसा कर पाए कि वो अपने टेरिटरी में भी ऑपरेट नहीं कर पाए. इनकी रेंज उनके वेपन्स की रेंज से ज्यादा थी, तो वो कभी वेपन रिलीज रेंज तक भी नहीं आ पाए थ्रेटन हुए बगैर, और जो आए फिर उनको क्षति का सामना करना पड़ा. So this was a game changer. I think we again must thank some people. One of them I can see here sitting here, who was a pusher. I remember when जब बोला जा रहा था कि इनको हमने फॉरवर्ड डिप्लॉय करना है, मैं खुद थोड़ा असमंजस में था उस समय. एडी कमांडर था कहीं पे कि नहीं ऐसे वेपन्स फॉरवर्ड डिप्लॉय कैसे कर सकते हैं, बट ये वेपन सिस्टम फॉरवर्ड डिप्लॉय होके दुश्मन के एरिया में बहुत दूर तक मार करके, और बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स हाई मोबिलिटी इट कुड शिफ्ट एंड वी कुड बीट द टारगेटिंग साइकिल ऑफ द एनिमी. जो वो एनिमी हमारे वेपन को स्पॉट करता था रडार अपना सैटेलाइट के थ्रू, और उसके बाद उसके कोऑर्डिनेट निकाल के अगर वहां वेपन फेंके, उससे पहले हमारा सिस्टम वहां से मूव कर चुका था. तो 2-4 वेपन ऐसी जगह गिरे हैं जहां हमारा सिस्टम पहले था. तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था कि ये जो इस तरह का वेपन सिस्टम हमारे पास था. हमारे पास कुछ चैलेंजेस थे लाइक आइडेंटिफिकेशन, जिसके ऊपर अभी भी काम चल रहा है, क्योंकि अगर आप बहुत दूर तक वार करते हो तो आपको एयरक्राफ्ट को आइडेंटिफाई करना बहुत जरूरी है. तो इस केस में देखा जाए तो उनके जहाज हमारी तरफ नहीं आए, तो उस तरफ जितने जहाज हमें मारने थे वो बॉर्डर या एलएसी के उस तरफ थे, तो थोड़ा इजी था.
However, with rapid improvements in missile technology, India now faces a different threat that could outpace the S-400 system. Now, what you're seeing, viewers, is a hypersonic glide vehicle. It is an advanced weapon system that is launched to the upper atmosphere by rocket, then detaches and glides to a target at speeds greater than Mach 5. HGVs are designed to evade traditional missile defense systems due to their extreme speed and ability to maneuver and change course in flight. HGVs operate at heights of 200 kilometers above the ground. For context, the International Space Station orbits the Earth at nearly 417 kilometers above the surface of the planet, where the S-400 systems has a maximum engagement altitude of approximately 100 kilometers. With limited effectiveness against hypersonic missiles, Russia's successor can then unlock a new level of aerial defense. Now, this is, of course, Russia's S-500 aerial defense system. The S-500, also known as the 55R6M Triumph fighter, is not just an upgraded S-400. That's like saying a sniper rifle is an upgraded shotgun. They are fundamentally different. Where the S-400 is an anti-aircraft piece, the S-500 is a strategic defense system. And here are the 3 specs. that matter. Number 1, the range and altitude. The S-500 can reliably engage targets at 200 kilometers vertical altitude. This means that the S-500 can reach into low Earth orbit, giving its operators anti-satellite capabilities without needing a dedicated ASAT missile launch. During hostilities that followed Operation Sindoor, the S-400 system achieved its longest ever kill, striking a SAB 2000 ARI airborne early warning aircraft at a reported distance of 315 to 320 kilometers. In comparison, the S-500 has a range of just over 600 kilometers. We come to specification number 2, the speed. The S-500 is designed to track and kill targets moving at Mach 20, that's 7 kilometers per second. To hit a bullet with a bullet is hard. To hit a hypersonic glider that is maneuvering at 20 times the speed of sound is nearly impossible. The S-500's response time is reported to be 3 to 4 seconds. The S-400 takes about 9 to 10 in comparison. In hypersonic warfare, that 6-second difference is the key difference between a successful intercept in the air and a crater on the ground. And finally, we come to specification number 3, the hit-to-kill ability. Older Russian missiles exploded near the target, using shrapnel to take it down. The S-500 77N6 interceptors use hit-to-kill technology. They have no warhead. They destroy the target through sheer kinetic force, slamming into the enemy missile physically. This guarantees the total vaporization of incoming warheads, nuclear warheads too, rather than just damaging them. As the Russian President Vladimir Putin visits India, this modern aerial defense system, whose predecessor has already proven its mettle in combat, can become the latest weapons system in the long line of Indian-Russian technology developed. A proud partnership encompassing supersonic cruise missiles, including the BrahMos, tanks, and now low-orbit satellite defense systems. It seems set to continue strong into the future as well. To discuss all of this and more, joining us on the broadcast is Professor Madhav Nalapat, Editorial Director of the Sunday Guardian. Thank you so much for taking out time and speaking to us on NewsX World. We are anticipating a very high-level visit by Vladimir Putin very, very soon. It's going to be a 2-day state visit for the 23rd India-Russia summit. Of course, we've seen the nature of warfare changing with hypersonic missiles now coming into the picture. Do you think there's an avenue for India to acquire the S-500s? We do know the S-400 deal was inked back in 2018. 3 of those 5 systems that were promised to us have been delivered. 2 more we are yet to receive sometime around 2026, 2027. Does this then pave the way open for India to acquire the S-500s from Russia? Would Russia be willing to part with that tech as of now?
Well, look, the fact of the matter is that if Russia regards India as a close strategic ally, which I think it clearly does, I mean, President Putin is welcome in India. Unfortunately, he could not go to either Brazil or South Africa. I was a bit surprised because of that ICC warrant, which was basically issued for political reasons and not for any reasons of jurisprudence. So there's no doubt that the S-500 is a formidable defense system, absolutely formidable. Of course, it's hyper expensive as well. But of course, the second thing is that the question is also pairing it. How do you pair it? In the sense of not only defense, but offense.
Yes.
And now the age of manned aircraft is slowly fading away. The Su-57 is a superb aircraft, but the point is that in today's warfare, increasingly drones are taking the place of piloted aircraft. So I would say it would be a better investment, yes, to buy the S-400 definitely, and also to invest heavily in drone technology and in production of drones, co-production of drones, because the future of warfare seems to be warfare through the drones and not through piloted aircraft.
Absolutely, you've pointed it out quite perfectly, because even as far as the Russia-Ukraine war is concerned, we're seeing practically 500 drones being fired by the Russians every other day. There are reports that we're tracking. Meanwhile, yesterday, the Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov had noted that there's 36% share of Russian arms in India at the moment. You also mentioned the Su-57. That's on agenda as well. One thing that the Russian spokesperson had pointed out is the fact that, even though there is competition, the Americans want India to purchase the F-35s, the Russians have made it very clear that they will be sticking to just competition and not be engaging in anything on the side. What do you make of this particular statement?
Well, there's no doubt that it's a very tempting offer, but again, I would point out that the age of piloted aircraft is fading away fast, and the age of the pilotless aircraft, that is drones, unmanned aircraft, is really coming into view. So I would say that yes, the S-500 is a very good bargain, and the Russians should be encouraged to take part in co-production. So there's a lot of technology transfer to India. At the same time, I would favor drone technology over a piloted aircraft, that is the Su-57, because in today's warfare, as you correctly pointed out in Ukraine, various other theaters, it is the drones, the unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, that are taking the pride of place and doing the most damage to the enemy, whereas piloted aircraft are much more vulnerable and much more easy to bring down than drones. And of course, drones you can send in profusion, which you can't do with piloted aircraft, which are all highly expensive. At the most, a few squadrons, but you can have several squadrons of drones in each theater. So I would encourage the government to, yes, go for the S-500, but also not the Su-57 or any other piloted aircraft, but drone technology and drones, because that, as I said, is the future of modern warfare.
Absolutely, we did see the use of drones, swarms of drones, in fact, Turkish origin drones by Pakistan, some Chinese origin drones as well during Operation Sindoor, where they did not just target military installations in India, but they also targeted civilians. With that, I'd like to thank you, Professor Nalapat, for taking out time, of course, sharing your insights and your perspectives with us on NewsX Deep Dive. On that note, viewers, we dip into a quick short break.